The male loser epidemic has gotten so bad that it's honestly so pathetic at this point. Like, why do you think you're lonely? You're lonely because we don't want to be with you. Because look at how pathetic you are.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Guys, before we get into today's video, please remember to leave a like, comment and sub. Help me get to that 1,000 subscriber mark by the end of the year. I'd really appreciate your sub today. If you're enjoying my content, please do share the video as well. Leave a like. This will help me to grow the channel. Without further ado, guys, let's check out today's video.
The male loser epidemic has gotten so bad that it's honestly so pathetic at this point. Like, why do you think you're lonely? You're lonely because we don't want to be with you. Because look at how pathetic you are. I posted a video talking about my standards and what I expect of men, which is basically just basic decency. You got to be consistent. You got to communicate. You got to make straight up plans. I'm not just hanging out with you. It's got to be at a nice restaurant, and on the second day I will ask you for a gift, and I'm not telling you what to buy me, but I want to see your creativity. I want to see how you court me. I have standards. I also date high net worth individuals because that's my circle. That's who I hang out with. That's who I am. I make a lot of money, so I'm going to hang out with people who also make a lot of money, because it's about the mindset, because we're always trying to work on each other. And these men crazy in the comments. It's like, oh, like you're 6 at best. Like, I don't care what you think of me, because the men in my life, the men that I date, the men that I hang out with, actually think that it's wonderful that I am achieving so much in my life. They think it's wonderful, and actually help me set higher standards for the men in my life that are walking into my life. They teach me how to think. They teach me how to carry myself in the world. They teach me about men like you and how to stay away from them.
So is she married?
It's ridiculous that these ass losers are sitting there. No high worth individual.
She's angry.
And no respectable man is going to sit on the internet and curse out a random person, period. I wouldn't do it. I mean, I'll control you. If you're coming at me, I'll control you. But otherwise, I wouldn't do it. No one who's respectable and has things going for them is going to sit there and bully somebody. And like, no one who actually knows their value is going to sit in a relationship and bully them and tell them you can't get anything better than what I can offer you. You don't have anything to offer. You are what we're all running away from. You are lonely because you're a mother loser. It's embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed for you. It's like most men too. Like, it's literally most men. Most men are losers, and they know it, and then they're like, oh, well, we're just gonna like bully you into being with us again because we're losing control.
Someone bully you to being with them.
Off.
Whoa, okay.
I don't care about you, okay? Alright? I really don't care about you.
So then why are you talking about it?
Let the men who have done work on their mindset and themselves actually step forward and lead, because obviously you're like a little child.
Okay, guys. So this one is interesting for 2 reasons. Right now, the internet is buzzing with basically women, especially on TikTok, who are coming out and basically saying, where are all the good men? I dressed up nicely to go out and nobody approached me. Why have men stopped approaching women? Women are basically saying they're going out and they're looking nice, hoping that somebody will come up to them, and nobody is. So that's one. And then you have the current male epidemic, so male loneliness epidemic, which is also going viral at the moment. The notion is that men are now lonely, and that's because they're not dating, they're not coming out on dates, they're not talking to women, and blah blah blah. So those are the 2 things going on here. This lady obviously is very upset because of the comments she's received for a particular video. In terms of the male loneliness epidemic, here's my take on that, guys. It feels like these talking points are recycled. So I remember a time when women were said to be the ones who were lonely and depressed due to the modern day. And there were statistics flying about the internet, basically saying women are the most depressed now, women are the most lonely now. And this was during the time when the don't approach me videos were going viral. And guys, let me even talk about that for a second. That was also a thing. Like, there was a time when women were coming on the internet, and I'm sure I've covered some of it on here. And they were basically saying, if you see me outside, don't look look at me, don't approach me, don't talk to me. I remember an outrageous video where a guy came to give her back something that she dropped, and she screamed bloody murder because this guy was coming close to her, and he basically just left, crossed the road, and went about his way. And she continued the video saying, don't ever approach women. So this was a thing, and this was like, what, it's been going on for like a couple of years now, where women basically were saying men shouldn't approach them. Men are toxic, men are dangerous, all men are trash. Whenever a man is coming at you in the road, he's trying to hurt you. That was a thing. And during that time, well, shortly after that time, we had these statistics showing that women are lonely, women are no longer being able to get into a relationship, and blah, blah, blah. I find it interesting that we skip a couple of years now since that time, and now it's men that are said to be lonely. Don't get it twisted, guys. Men mostly, especially the average man, normally get the short end of the stick because they're unable to talk to women, or women don't give them any time of day. Heard of the nice guy thing, where a guy is too nice, or a woman doesn't give him a chance because he's too nice, because apparently niceness is a bad thing. To turn around now, we're now at a position where women are saying men don't approach them, and they're frustrated about that. Isn't it ironic? Because for me, it just sounds like men listened. You know what I mean? Men basically said, oh, I'm toxic when I approach you, I'm dangerous, I'm a bad person. Okay, I don't want to be those things. And men tend to value our social standing. Like, we value how people see us. You know, that's one of the things that makes a woman attracted to a man, is his social standing. And men are very protective of their social standing. So we don't want anything to taint that. And if you're going to label us toxic, evil, bad, you're going to label us predators and all sorts because of a specific action, we're going to stop doing those things, period. The ones that continue doing it are those who don't care. So for me, I find it really peculiar that the male loneliness epidemic is now the thing that's being spoken about. And in my mind, I'm basically thinking recycled internet plot points to get people talking. Because the gender war is a thing. The man versus woman discussion is literally money. This discussion prints money for people. It's just like the racial war and the wars around the movies and which movies are good and woke movies versus normal movies. These things print money. And for these things to continue to print money, we need to continue to rage bait people, because people get upset, they get online and they just spew whatever they want to spew. Do I believe there's a male loneliness epidemic? I don't think it's any different from what's been happening. I really don't, because even as I was growing up, it was difficult for me to talk to girls and that kind of stuff until I got to a particular age. There are certain things now that used to happen when I was growing up that don't happen anymore. Like the rite of passage of talking to a girl was a thing. Like, you would get teased, you would be in a group of friends, and almost like peer pressure, you would be pressured to go talk to a girl to prove your manhood. And we used to do that all the time. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I do think it's a good experience. Whether you interpret that as toxic or not is up to you. It happened to me. My friends pressured me. They were like, oh, go talk to that girl. I'm like, oh, I'm shy, I'm scared. They're like, no, go do it. And I did it. I went up to a girl. This was in my teenage years. And I spoke to her kindly and got her number. She liked me. I got her number. And that was the end of it. And that experience changes how you see girls. Now we're in a day and age where that's been demonized. So obviously you're going to have less men, especially the average man. I say the average man because the interaction between men and women is really, really interesting. It's a very interesting dynamic. Men get more confident the more they grow up. A man who has slept with a girl will be the most confident because he's been all the way. But a man who hasn't reached that level, maybe he hasn't even been given attention, he's not gonna have that confidence. And that's how it is like for young men like me. We didn't have women, we didn't have female attention. We were about doing our thing, going to school, and we would have crushes on girls but would not have the strength to approach. And of course you need men or friends who will be like, do it. Like I think you need that. If these things are deemed as bad, they're gonna happen less, which means young men are not gonna approach women the way we used to. So I do believe that the male epidemic is not anything different from what it used to be, but there are fundamental factors like the videos that say men are evil if they approach women, don't approach us, that will kind of lead to an increase. The second thing that I want to talk about in regards to this video is women like this young Christians, pay attention to women like this. They tend to be those women who have found a way to master the art of femininity. I get in trouble a lot because I always talk to young Christians, especially the young ladies. I always tell them that their femininity is not evil. Like, God put it there for a reason. It's a dynamic. It's a communication ability between men and women. I believe that there comes an age when you're ready to mingle and you need to use those things to your advantage. That's my belief. I believe the batting of the eye, the makeup, the nice smell, the clothes are something you need to do to get the man that you want. The negative side of that is what this lady does, which is called seduction. And seduction in itself is not trying to look for a guy to get with and get married and have kids and be happy. That's not the point of seduction. Seduction is aimed at bringing the person down. Seduction is aimed at getting something off that person. It's basically using your superpower, femininity, as a weapon. These ladies, we also call them gold diggers, right? Or the extreme levels of them would be like the OnlyFans and stuff like that. But she doesn't seem to be like the OnlyFans. She's more at the level of I'm dating casually, and every date that I go to, I'm gonna use it to get something. You need to be careful of women like this, because women like this are not here to find love. They're not here to find their soulmate. And as you can hear, she's been on many dates. She has all these people, all these men. The caliber of men are really high. They're the best. They've got money. They've got this. But she's not settling down, because she's not looking for that. She's looking for money. And sometimes, guys, I know I say money, but sometimes seduction is not about money itself. Sometimes it's about the control of men, because some women get off on having control over men. It is what it is. And I say all of this not to just say that only women are capable of seducing, because no, that's not true. It is a superpower of a woman, because a woman is the best person that can take down any man as long as she switches on that seduction mode. It's different for men. Seduction is not really a thing for men, but they can be done. So I say all of this to say, young Christians, be careful of these videos, because a certain type of mindset is stemming from a certain type of belief system. When we talk about seduction in the Bible, we always lead it all the way back to Jezebel. Whenever you mention that lady's name, we always think of witchcraft, like the extreme levels of what a woman can go to get what she wants. And Jezebel in the Bible is someone who used seduction and her feminine wiles to control men to get what she wants. She actually did it to get someone killed, right? She got a king to bring her the head of somebody, and that's the Jezebel spirit. I'm not talking about this woman specifically, because there's many women. The sprinkle lady is another one. She tells women how to use men, how to get men on their knees. When you listen to these type of videos and these type of women and what they're, I guess, proposing, you need to understand that these things come from a certain type of belief system. My channel is about getting young men, young women together, you know, young Christians, people who want to date. I believe in marriages. I believe in men and women getting together and doing life together. I don't think you were meant to be alone. I believe God wants you to be with somebody. There are people like these ladies, they're not in the dating game to find marriage. They're not in the dating game to find love. It is a hobby. It is a sport. That is what it is. So you need to be careful of these guys. They have mastered the art of seduction. I want to warn, especially the young men, because sometimes young men think that they are, you know, supermen. The Bible always clearly says, and every time seduction has been mentioned, that a woman who is looking to get you can get you. It doesn't say you can be strong and you can fight it. No, the Bible has always been specific about if you run into someone who wants to seduce you, run. Seduction is so powerful. It's said to be one of the most powerful weapons for a woman. According to the Bible, it actually says it can bring down a nation. Like one woman can bring down a nation just from the ability of femininity and seduction. It is that powerful.
Witchcraft is basically just quantum physics. It's the ability to just focus your energy and manifest. That's really what it is. So if you're so afraid of witches, like, you're basically afraid of the world and manifesting. And the reason why witches are so successful at what they do is because they focus. And the reason why they use herbs and whatnot is because it helps you bring that vision into the material world and focus it. When you get to a certain degree, you don't need to use any of that.
I didn't
And then
even know
in
this
terms of
video
psychic
existed, guys.
abilities, it's when a person does a reading for you, they do a reading in that moment while you're with them from that perspective. You could make a completely different decision having known what you know, and so that will switch the outcome. From a quantum physics perspective, everything's happening all at once.
They're not hiding it.
There is no single reality. There are multiple versions of you that make different decisions,
They're not hiding
and
it
that
at all.
actually rolls out different variables. So it's mathematical to a certain degree.
Guys, I was getting ready to end the video and I decided let me check out some of her other videos because I thought, let me see if I'm being unfair. And literally, I saw this video and I was like, I literally was just talking about this just a second ago. But here we go. They're not hiding it. Anyone, I'm telling you guys, anyone like the Sprinkle Lady, and there's quite a lot of them online who talk about how to control men and how to get man to buy you this and buy you that. They're operating from a certain spirit. They are operating from a certain mindset. If you take anything away from this video, guys, your femininity, your ability to attract a man and bat your eyes and dress well and put on some nice makeup and perfume to attract somebody is important. It's part of your makeup. It's part of how God made you to attract the opposite sex. You're not supposed to do it when you're young because you're not of age. That's not the time for it. But when you become of age, and for me, that would be anything from like 19 upwards. I met my wife when I was 19. That's the time to use it. And hopefully for me, I would say by like 24, 25, you could be married. That's my opinion. But I believe when you're of age, that power is meant to be used to get men interested in you so that you can pick the right one. It's the same for men. Your job is to get yourself to a point where you are in a good place. Like, men are not told to be attractive. It's only recently that started becoming a thing. Our job was to make sure that we went to school, get a job, get a car, buy a house, and then you're ready. That was the thing they used to tell us when I was younger. And then once the guy's got all those 4 things, then he can look. And then if you're the one who attracts him, then he comes to you. Young Christian ladies, use your femininity to your advantage, I would say.
A lot of you ladies ask me how it is that I get gifts on the second date, and it's very simple. First of all, you must enjoy the first date. You have to determine whether or not you want to go on the second date with them. When they ask you for a second date, a lot of guys will try to close it on the first one if they're smart, and you can do this. This is how I do it. I've had so much fun with you. This was really great. Thank you for treating me. It was very
Guys,
sweet.
look at how her voice changed. Like, her voice dropped.
I will go on a second date with you. However, I do expect a gift.
And look at her body language.
You get. I want to see you work for it. So you can get me anything you want. I don't care what it is. Well, I do, because I'm going to judge.
The eye movement and everything.
But you can't get me flowers because I already get flowers for myself, and I also don't want you taking on the responsibility of getting the right flowers because I have a cat. So let's see how you do. And I'll like kind of lean back and I'll take a look at them and I'll be like, and they're like, they'll usually ask, okay, like, what type of gift? And I'll be like, I don't know. I'd go home if you didn't go big, so.
Yeah.
You want my attention, don't you? And they're like,
there we go, guys.
They'll melt, okay? Like, you're not telling them, you're telling them, but you're like seducing them, okay?
There you
go.
go.
Like, use your eyes. You gotta just like siren it, okay? Like, yeah, that's how I do it.
And there you go, guys. So if you see what she's doing there, she's doing the things that she knows men like. A lot of times, like even in marriage, women do this with their husband, and you should. If you're not, you should be. You should be doing, using your femininity on your guy because it attracts him. What she's doing here is she knows she has this power and she's using it to get something. You see the weapon she's using. She's using her body, she uses her eyes, and she knows the power that holds on a guy. And she's absolutely right. Most of the guys she goes on a date with, if she does that, she will get them. because that's the power. My thing is just to separate the two. Just be aware that we don't have to throw all of them into the same basket. Being feminine, being attractive, being visually appealing is not the same as being a seductress. A seductress is after one thing. Anyway, guys, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? I know this is a hot take, especially for Christians, but as someone who's married and someone who married young, I saw how this thing has a place, and I noticed a lot of young Christian girls, sometimes we end up being holier than thou, and we forget that we live in a natural world. We forget, and a lot of times this goes on to affect marriages, right? In a marriage, you're meant to have fun sexually. You're meant to just go at it. You've waited all this time. So your woman and your guy is meant to be everything. You're meant to just have fun and do your thing. And this tends to affect marriages because the woman doesn't even use her feminine girl. She just always clothed in rags and always wearing nonsense and never making herself up. The man also, maybe the man has grown up very churchy. He tends to not even like put in any effort. He doesn't dress up. He doesn't go, let's go out on a date. I'm not saying like it has to be done all the time, but this mindset is what tends to affect marriage. You grow up with it. We're not taught how to live in the natural world as well as the spiritual world. Like everything spiritual, like anything too extreme is not good for you. So there's a balance. God has put you in this earth for a reason. That's why Jesus showed us the example. Jesus went out. He went out with his friends. Went out with a disciple. He went out to eat. He was at the party. You know, he was at the party where he turned water into wine. Jesus showed us how it was meant to be. There was a time for prayer and Bible and miracles and all of that. And there was a time for him to just chill. This is what I see happening. Like young Christians get married, and because they didn't learn these things, they ruin their marriage. The woman is too hard because they think that they have to always be authoritative with their husband, or the husband is not romantic. And sometimes that could be because the feminine girl is missing. The man there's nothing to make him excited. So they just live a really bland life. And it breaks my heart when I see stuff like that, because you stayed away from certain things because they were youthful lust, right? You're not meant to have certain things before marriage. But once you're married, you're supposed to be having fun with your spouse. Let me know if you understand what I'm trying to say in the comments below. Let me know if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying. Am I speaking heresy or am I right? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Before you go, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please leave me a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Help me get to that 1,000 sub. I'd really appreciate it. I'll see you on my next video.